Tariffs are like extra charges or fees that are added to the cost of goods. Governments put them on things coming from other countries. These fees can vary widely depending on the type of product and the country of origin. Imagine you buy a cool gadget online from another country, you find it at a great price, and you're excited about the deal. But when it arrives, you notice that the price has gone up. This is because a tariff has been added, making that gadget more expensive. Why do governments do this? There are a few reasons. Sometimes they want to protect their own businesses. By making imported goods more expensive, they encourage people to buy locally made products. If a gadget from overseas is cheaper, a local business might struggle to compete. This can lead to job losses and economic downturns in certain industries. So, tariffs try to level the playing field. They make imported goods more expensive, closer to the price of local goods. This helps local businesses stay competitive and can protect jobs. However, it also means consumers might have to pay more for certain products. But, as with most things in economics, there are always consequences. While tariffs can protect local industries, they can also lead to higher prices for consumers and potential trade conflicts with other countries. It's a delicate balance that governments have to manage carefully. International trade negotiations often involve discussions about tariffs. Countries may agree to reduce or eliminate tariffs to promote trade and economic cooperation. On the other hand, some countries might increase tariffs to protect their industries from foreign competition. This can lead to a trade war, where countries keep raising tariffs against each other. Trade wars can have significant impacts on the global economy, affecting everything from stock markets to everyday prices of goods. It's a complex issue with no easy answers. So next time you're shopping and notice the price of an imported product, remember that tariffs might be playing a role. They're a tool that governments use to influence the economy with both positive and negative effects. Think of tariffs as taxes on imported goods. These taxes are imposed by governments to regulate trade and protect domestic industries. When a country decides to implement a tariff, it essentially increases the cost of importing certain goods. This can have a ripple effect throughout the economy, influencing everything from consumer prices to the competitiveness of local businesses. When a country puts a tariff on something, it raises the price. This increase is often passed on to consumers, making everyday items more expensive. For instance, if a tariff is placed on electronics, the cost of smartphones, laptops, and other gadgets can go up. This can lead to a decrease in consumer spending, as people may choose to delay or forego purchases due to higher prices. Let's say the US puts a tariff on cars from Japan. This means that Japanese car manufacturers will have to pay an extra fee to bring their vehicles into the US market. This fee is usually added to the final price of the car, making it more expensive for American consumers. Suddenly, those Japanese cars become more expensive for Americans to buy. Consumers who were considering purchasing a Japanese car might now think twice due to the higher cost. They might start looking at alternatives such as cars made by American manufacturers, which haven't been affected by the tariff. This can make American-made cars more attractive to buyers because they seem relatively cheaper. As a result, domestic car manufacturers might see an increase in sales. This can be beneficial for the local economy, as it supports local jobs and businesses. However, it's important to consider the broader implications of such policies. However, tariffs also mean that people have to pay more for goods. This doesn't just apply to big-ticket items like cars, but also to everyday essentials. For example, if tariffs are placed on imported food products, the cost of groceries can rise, affecting household budgets. This can hurt consumers, especially if local businesses don't offer cheaper or better alternatives. In the long run, tariffs can lead to reduced consumer choice and higher prices across the board. It's a delicate balance for policymakers, who must weigh the benefits of protecting domestic industries against the potential drawbacks for consumers. The United States, under certain trade agreements, has imposed tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico. These tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods, designed to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. By making imported goods more expensive, the government hopes to encourage consumers and businesses to buy American-made products instead. Let's imagine a 25% tariff on imported steel. Steel is a critical material used in a wide range of industries, from construction to automotive manufacturing. When a tariff is imposed, it means that the cost of importing steel increases significantly. This means that for every $100 worth of steel imported from these countries, the US government adds an extra $25. This additional cost is often passed down the supply chain, affecting various stakeholders. This makes the steel more expensive for American businesses that rely on it. Companies that use steel in their products, such as car manufacturers or construction firms, will see their production costs rise. These increased costs can lead to a variety of outcomes, including reduced profit margins and potential layoffs. These businesses might then have to raise their own prices, affecting American consumers. When the cost of raw materials goes up, the final price of goods often follows suit. This means that everyday items, from cars to household appliances, could become more expensive for the average consumer. It's a chain reaction with potentially negative consequences. Higher prices can lead to reduced consumer spending, which in turn can slow down economic growth. Businesses may struggle to maintain their sales volumes, and the overall economy can suffer. While tariffs are intended to protect domestic industries, they can also create significant challenges for the broader economy. When one country imposes tariffs, others might retaliate. It's like a trade war, with tariffs being the weapon of choice. For example, if the US puts tariffs on Canadian lumber, Canada might respond with tariffs on US oranges. These retaliatory tariffs are meant to hurt the other country's industries. They can escalate quickly, leading to higher prices for everyone and harming businesses on both sides. It becomes a lose-lose situation. Section 5. The high cost of trade wars. Trade wars, fueled by tariffs, rarely have happy endings. They disrupt the flow of goods and services between countries. Businesses suffer as their costs rise and markets shrink. Consumers also feel the pinch, facing higher prices for everyday products. Sometimes, certain goods become scarce or disappear from the market altogether. Trade wars often lead to economic uncertainty and can even slow down global growth. Section 6. The US-China Trade War, a case study. The recent trade war between the US and China provides a prime example of how tariffs can backfire. Both countries imposed hefty tariffs on each other's goods, impacting industries from agriculture to technology. The results were significant. Businesses on both sides faced higher costs, reduced profits, and job losses. Consumers saw prices rise on everyday items. While some argue that the tariffs achieved certain objectives, the economic damage was undeniable. Section 7. Impact on consumers. Higher prices, fewer choices. Tariffs hit consumers where it hurts, their wallets. When tariffs increase the cost of imported goods, businesses often pass those costs on to consumers in the form of higher prices. Suddenly, everything from clothes and electronics to groceries becomes more expensive. Moreover, tariffs can reduce competition, limiting consumer choice. This lack of competition can also lead to lower quality goods and less innovation. Section 8. Navigating the complexities of global trade. Tariffs are just one piece of the complex puzzle that is global trade. While they can be used to protect domestic industries, they can also spark trade wars and harm economies. It's crucial to understand the multifaceted nature of tariffs and their potential consequences. Governments must carefully consider the broader implications of their trade policies to ensure a stable and prosperous global economy. Section 9. Conclusion: Tariffs and the future of trade. Tariffs, in their simplest form, are taxes on imports. They can serve as tools to protect local industries but can also escalate into trade wars with far-reaching consequences. As we move forward in an increasingly interconnected world, it's essential to approach trade policies with caution and prioritize cooperation over conflict. The future of global trade, and indeed the global economy, depends on finding a balance between protecting national interests and fostering international cooperation.